Welcome to B. Taylor Outdoors. I'm Ben, and today we're going to be doing a couple of watermarks. We're going to be using Belle to show you a little bit more about the started and junior hunt test watermarks. So first we're going to be getting unloaded. One second. We're going to be getting unloaded, and then we're going to show you some of the tips and tricks. So talk about some of the rules for this stuff, kind of what to look for, things like that. So y'all stay tuned. So first thing I'm going to say, click this eye up here. If you haven't seen my video that I did before, it's on started and junior, and it goes through a lot of information, a lot of the rules. The rules haven't changed much, as in distances and things like that, or you can still hold your dog, but we will talk about some of those things here in a second. But that video goes through a lot of information. So go ahead, if you haven't, watch and click that and there, or I'll put a link for that video in the description. So go watch it first, then come back to this video. Okay, so some of the rules that you're going to be looking at started. I haven't looked at it, but I think the longest watermark you can have on water for started, an HRC started test, is 40 yards. And junior, I don't think there's a distance that they can set, but in my local area, I don't think the longest watermark I've ever seen was maybe 40, maybe 50 yards. So saying that, yes, you can still hold your dog, you can use whistles, you can use voice commands, all that fun stuff to get your dog back to you. Junior, you still have to deliver to hand, and you have to get the bird before you touch the dog. Started, you do not have to deliver to hand. So saying that, we're going to roll into some of the tips, tricks, and kind of what you need to be looking for and preparing for. So one of the tips, get as close to the water as you can. If the judge sets the bucket up, run your dog, take a step forward. So then when the dog comes back, if you're a junior dog and they're sometimes spit the bird out right on the edge of the land, then when you do that, you're already right there on the edge. So as soon as they start to pop their head out of the water, reach down, grab the bird, grab them, put them at heel, run the next mark. And the same thing with started. You're going to want to get that bird as quickly as you can. So either one, they don't drop it, or two, if they do drop it, then you can just pick it up. They act like nothing's wrong, just grab them, put them at heel, signal for the next bird, or grab them, put the collar on or the leash on, and walk off. So the camo rule hasn't changed either. I'm sorry, I meant to mention that. The camo rule has not changed for started, so head to toe camo. But going back to our tips and tricks, like I said, you want that. Now, getting prepared for this test, I want to have marks that are watermarks that are not very cheaty. I mean, sometimes the ponds that you're given, there's a little bit of a cheat in them, and there's nothing you can do about that. But if I was training, getting ready for this, I want to see marks that are 100 yards. Now, they don't have to swim 100 yards. Back off the water a little bit. Get them 10 yards. Let them swim for 80, 90. Go pick up a bird that's dry on land, because that is going to probably be something that you will see in a junior test. Started, I have yet to see a started test where a bird lands dry. So, but junior, almost every junior test I have seen a bird land dry. So they'll throw it, and it'll be a yard or two up on the bank, or even 5 to 6 yards off the bank. So then get your dog, they'll pick it up, and they need to get back in the water. That's what I want to see before I start running junior test, is up to about 100 yards. So then when you get to that test and they throw a little 40-yard dink bird or a 30-yard dink bird, even shorter than that, maybe it might be 10 or 15. Your dog's like, poof, okay, I've seen that before, that's easy. Go out there, pick it up, come back, boom. So I think that's all I got for you. Oh, one thing I will say, I'm going to be doing 2 different setups. I'm going to be doing one for started and one for junior. So stay tuned for that. But I'm going to get this stuff set up for the started test first, and then we will run the junior test. So I'll show you the started test first, run Belle, then I'll set up the junior test and then run Belle. So y'all just give me a minute. Okay, so our first mark is going to come out here, come out, splash near this big tree in the water. And then our second mark for our started test is coming out from that holding blind, going left to, or right to left. Both of these marks are going right to left, splashing, or it should splash. So I don't think Belle's going to have any issues with this, but this is a very good started test. I'll kind of explain why real quick. So this is where the line is. If you look right here in front of me, from here to here is pretty open. But you look right there, there's a wall. So when that bird lands over here, you're gonna have the dog come around, and hopefully, as long as they don't get too far to the left over here, like over here, we'll be okay, because they're going to get in the water. And this is that tip that I'm going to tell you. If you do, you step up like this to where you're here, dog's right here. It takes that line out of play. This one over here takes it out of play. So splash, dog takes off the one into the water. This one as well, it's okay. It's pretty, because it's going to be a big high mark splashing right here in front of them. It's no problem. So let's get Belle and show you a started test. Also, I forgot to mention in the rules, you can hold your dog. My tip is hold your dog. I'm going to shoot over Belle because she's over 9 years old. But if I am at a test, even if Belle was 9 years old and it was her first test running started, I would hold her collar and I would send her on my own. I would let the person that's off to the side shoot that gun. I'm not going to shoot it at a test. But for the video, I'm going to shoot the gun. So that's what I meant to tell you earlier. So now, let's get Belle and run these marks. I got my lead, making sure she walks up the line as calmly as possible. Here, heel, sit. I'm going to take and try to line her up as best I can on this first mark. So sit. Sit. You got to pay attention. Sit. Sit. Always start a HRC test with a duck call. Sit. They will give sound. Down. Not very cheaty. Nice little mark. Go pick that one up. Well, she's on the way. I'm going to take and move this camera so you can see this mark next. Good. Here. There you go. Here. There you go. Good girl. Here. Drop. Heel. Sit. Sit. You see how quick, as soon as she was coming out of the water, grab the bird? Sit. Heel. Sit. Sit. mark's not as good as I would like it to be. It probably should be moved back a little bit, but you got your 90 degrees of separation at least. But you can see the bird all the way, see it hit the ground. And that's probably 25 yards. And I could have moved it further back this way a little bit and gotten my 90-ish. No, here. Here. And if they was to try to do what she's doing, which is cheating on the way back, I wouldn't try to stop them from doing it. Just let them do it. You don't want to try to get into a battle and sit, drop, sit. You don't want to get into that battle of trying to keep them in the water. Just, if you're at a test, let them get out and cheat, get your bird, get out of here, get your ribbon, be happy. You can work on the cheating later. This is started. So I'm gonna go put her up real quick, and I'm gonna move these marks around a little bit for the junior setup, so I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, so this is our little junior setup, and it is very similar to our started setup except for that mark. Our first mark is still gonna be going right to left, landing by the tree, and then our second mark is going to be over here, and it is going left to right, landing a little bit up on that hill, probably about 5 yards off the bank or so. There's still that separation. It's not 90 degrees like there is in the HRC Started Test, but there's still some separation. There's two distinct areas of a fall. So we're going to run this mark first and this mark second. Okay, so there's no duck call start in junior. Sit. So I'm actually going to hold her this time. Sit. Sit. So you're going to get a duck call and a gunshot. So sit. Dog. Belle. There you go, good. All right, while she's swimming back, I'm gonna move this camera. Here. 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 Good. Drop. Drop. Heel. Sit. If you're running started in junior, you got to be prepared to get wet. So here, here, here. Remember what I said in the started test where I'd get up by this line? Good. Sit. Belle. And in junior, the judges will release you with your dog number, or say they'll say dog, something of that nature. So don't send your dog until you hear the judge say your number or dog. And that's something to ask in the handlers meeting is, are you going to say dog? Are you going to call our number? How are you going to release it? There you go, good. That's something else that's kind of important, so you don't break. The judge will release you. So, but I want to thank y'all for watching. If y'all enjoyed the video, learned something, hit that thumbs up button for me. If you haven't, go ahead and subscribe. We got a few more videos coming on water setups for seasoned, senior, finished. So be prepared to see those later. Come here, here. So I want to thank y'all again, and don't forget, fair season. never ends. All right, come on. There you go. Atta girl. All right. Here, drop. Good girl. Here.